What's up? This is Saul Williams, and you're at Popularity.
Are you ever nervous about returning with a new album, or is it always kind of just a joyous experience?
No, yeah, I guess it's a joyous experience. It's not something for me to be not become nervous about. No.
What qualities did all the songs on the album share for you personally that made you choose them to make it onto the album?
The quality that they share is essentially that I wrote them all for this album, so that they're a body of work that are connected in that. It was all when I was, basically chose not to write out of anger, and I had a particular sound that I was aiming for. Every song that I wrote for the album, I put on the album, so they pretty much came in order, and I recorded them, and that was that.
Personally, what do you think defines you as a writer?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm trying to be defined as a writer. I mean, what interests me is just the cathartic process. I mean, I share my work because it allows me to live as an artist, but the stuff that I write because it allows me to live, period. Like, I just write it to get through a day, a moment, to explore, to think, to open up. I don't know about the defining characteristics, though. The defining characteristics, I would say, are me.
What would you say were the challenges that came with the creation of the album?
I don't remember any challenges, really, any other than typical challenges of day-to-day, anything, paying a phone bill or something, that's an idea. But otherwise, I didn't chronicle any challenges while making the album.
Was there a song that was the easiest to create?
Well, I can't say that any of the songs came at the same time. I don't know if I would characterize one as easy. There were definitely some that were more fun than others, just based on content matter, or because I felt like I was exploring an area I hadn't been musically before, like writing a song like Dance or something was fun for me. But I don't know what I would characterize as easiest or hardest. They all pretty much came easily.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned about yourself during the creation of the album?
I think more so in terms of my work documenting stuff that I've learned about life, including myself as I go. While making an album, I mean, there's different things that you might learn about people or trusting people, but everything was positive making this album. There was nothing negative, and the whole thing chronicles, my writing chronicles what I learned about myself. That's what the writing, that's what the text, that's what the lyrics are about. But I don't learn about myself necessarily in making an album. I learn about myself in life. I chronicle my life through my music, but I don't really chronicle the process of making an album because it all comes rather simply.
Once the album was complete and you started to think about heading out on the road, what was the thought process that went into creating a set list for the live shows?
The thought process was quite simply, how can I have the best stage sound? How can I bring about the feeling on the album on stage? Meaning, how can I find horn players or, just finding the right musicians to complement what I was trying to do. Of course, drawing an album is not always about recreating the sound of an album. It's also about how we can explore and take it further.
When you tour a new record, does it give you kind of like a renewed energy because you're playing a bunch of new songs that are just new to the audience?
Well, yeah, you get a lot of energy from performing. I wouldn't say it's because of that necessarily. It's just because being on stage, live music is a real experience. If you can lose yourself and find yourself through, a mode of performance, it's somewhat like a ritual. And it's the sort of thing where you can think you'll be exhausted, but you're energized by the experience, whether it's new music, old music, because either way, if you're playing a song with live musicians, you're going to find something new, you're going to hear it differently, it's going to affect you differently with time. So each night is a new, energizing experience.
Working on tracks, are you ever surprised at how good they become? Are there any songs that surprised you on this album?
Luckily, there are positive surprises, yes. The only thing that I look out for are the negative surprises. I've had that before on an album, on my first album. finished product, they sound very much the same.
Creating music is like organizing an accident. What do you think of that statement?
I like that. But I don't believe anything is an accident. So, yeah.
With your growing success and popularity, have the expectations and demands that you place on yourself changed at all?
No, because that's not the demands that I place on myself are not in regards to that. It's in regards to my personal life. I'm a father, a boyfriend, lover, all of those things, and that's how I operate. I'm only public when I step on the stage.
Success isn't the destination, it's the journey. What do you think of that statement, and what is your idea of success?
Well, I've heard the statement in terms of the statement that I'm more familiar with is the journey is the destination, right? And so in terms of that, I think that, success is simply in being able to remain alive, aware, open, unjaded, and energized through life, through all the moments that are given. That's the goal in terms of success. Success for me is simply in being able to continually explore my creative process and having help to do that.
What's next?
Literally Phoenix. Aside from that, I have a book coming out in